We've had several coaches getting hired in recent past couple weeks, actually, and I think it's gone a little bit differently than a lot of us thought it would. Going into the offseason, I think a lot of people were very high on Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator Brian Daboll and the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, and so far neither one of them have been hired. Now, part of that I think has to do with the fact that their teams are still in the playoffs. The Bills and Chiefs are going to play tomorrow in the AFC Championship game, and from what I can tell, neither one have been focusing too much on life after the playoffs. So Eric Bieniemy has not. He's interviewed with the Houston Texans, but he has not interviewed in several other job openings. So it's very interesting, but neither one of them have been hired. But there was one coach that was hired by the Detroit Lions. They hired out of nowhere, it seemed. They hired Dan Campbell. He was a former interim coach with the Miami Dolphins in 2015, and he had an extremely odd press conference. I I think there's something to be said for a press conference going forward. A press conference signifies what life will be like with that coach as the coach. And I think we've seen that before. We saw that with Adam Gase when he was introduced in his introductory presser with the New York Jets. It was very odd. He looked very bug-eyed. He turned into a meme. And then they were terrible. And he's now a meme for how awful of a coach he is. So I don't know if there's a correlation to be made there, but I think having an odd press conference definitely starts things off on the wrong foot. And Dan Campbell had a very weird press conference. He said in that press conference, I'm just going to read the quote. He said, "Here's what I do know. It's that this team is going to take on the identity of this city. This city's been down and it found a way to get up. It's found a way to overcome adversity, so this team's going to be built on we're going to kick you in the teeth. And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off. And we're going to stand up, and it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap. And we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing." Weird. That is, we're going to take a kneecap on our way up. And then after you punch us twice, we're going to take another kneecap on the... What? What? First of all, the press conference aside, I mean, that is a very odd quote. I think he also quoted The Big Lebowski in his press conference, which is just weird. I think as a coach, you want your press conference to be emblematic of what your tenure as a coach is going to actually be like. And Dan Campbell said, we're going to punch you in the face and bite your kneecaps. Okay. That's all fine and good. He's going to be a culture changer, I guess, and he's going to really push workman mentality with his football team. But I don't know. Did he drink before that press conference? It sounded like he had consumed some beverages. I'm baffled by that. But I think the bigger question mark here is not what he said in his press conference, but why the Detroit Lions hired him in the first place, considering there are several coaching options out there that I think are much, much better hires than Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell was an interim coach with the Miami Dolphins in 2015, and they did not hire him as their full-time coach. Funnily enough, they hired Adam Gase. He flamed out in his only job as a head coach. He went 5-7 with the Miami Dolphins, and I remember that they were much tougher after he took over in week 4, but it was not enough. There wasn't anything there that said he could be a head coach moving forward. And he hasn't gotten a job since. As far as I know, he hasn't been a coordinator since. He hasn't done much of anything since 2015 and somehow got the Detroit Lions head coaching job. I don't think that's a good move. I don't know why the Lions hired him. He did not show me anything that says this is a great head coaching candidate. And I think every year there's quite a few busts on the head coaching market, and I think Dan Campbell will be the next one.